always going to be a part
Yeah,
of it, you know, because
yeah,
some
and
people like my wife, they say gay for the stay, you know, it's just like just temporary or whatever. But man, things turn into other things, but that's no excuse. There's always going to be victims, dude, you know, and predators.
yeah, it's always different. And like I tell my wife some of the stories, she be like, "Oh man, well why y'all didn't stop it?" I'm like, "Shit, we spoke against, but hell, it's still going on. The only thing that I can do is just give a voice now, and try to keep
Hmm.
the ones from going in, man, because it's wild, man.
And then the disease, nobody even thinks about
Yeah.
that, the
Oh
disease
yeah.
part, you know. I mean, they're
Yes.
playing for keeps
Yeah.
now. You get something you can't get rid of, and then you go home and pass it. I mean, no good comes from
Yeah.
that, man. You know,
Yeah. And
no
and
good
that's
comes
what and
from it.
that's yes, and see, that's what Noel had he actually didn't have that guy Jonathan Schwartz on his show, but he had showed a little bit of some of the clip that Jonathan Schwartz was saying that this particular guy had gave these victims like lifelong illnesses, So
Oh man,
in my mind,
yeah.
lifelong illnesses is something that we all know what that is.
Hmm. Yeah, it
We
could
got a
be a
lot of
couple.
people some that penicillin won't cook.
Hmm. Yeah, that's what I mean, man. No good comes from that. No.
Yeah, yeah. Can you? I'm trying to put
Okay.
that. I'm trying to see if I can put that the part of that interview. See
Okay.
if you can hear it. Let me see.
I was gonna, yeah, I can hear. Hey, I was gonna ask you about of all them people that you talked about, how many of them got venereal diseases?
I don't know.
They didn't talk about that,
Yeah, then none of them have really talked about that.
man. That I guarantee you, some of them got something or still have it because it's hard to get away from that, man. There's so many, yeah. Them nurses in prison, they didn't even care. They were just like, yeah, they're gonna do it anyway. They're just spreading it among themselves, herpes and all that. So crazy, man.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm pretty sure that the least of their mind is any kind of protection.
Who's that Vato up on the screen right now?
This is JG. His name's look. I'm gonna play a little bit. His name's JG.
Real hard. I tell him to turn around. So he turns, he moves slightly. I tell him to turn around again. He still doesn't want to turn all the way around. So I said, bitch, if I have to tell you to turn around one more time, I'll break your jaw. So he turns around.
Like right there, Bobby. What do you think so far by his mannerisms right there?
Man, he looks a little feminine.
Yeah, he does. Especially with the characteristics. Right now, he starts smacking his lips and he starts tilting his head. Let me play a little bit more for you to get a better picture.
All right.
He make him come out his clothes. First he reluctant about coming out his clothes, so he slap him again. So when he slap him this time, he gonna come up out his clothes. He go to feeling on him. He go to feeling on him. I squeeze his ass cheeks, two handfuls. Uh, he tenses up, I- you know. So I started to pull his shirt off of him. I give him the grease. And I tell him to put some on his finger, stick it in his ass, and you know what I'm saying, kind of like fuck himself to loosen himself up because I know he had never been penetrated before. It was his first time. And also, you know what I'm saying, just an old penitentiary trick that I learned from some old convicts. If he screamed rape, you know what I'm saying, he had grease on his fingernail. So he greased his own self up. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna basically lie and tell him I've been fucking him. He's been my boy. Hell, they gonna buy it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna go to the extreme.
You see those mannerisms. What do you think so far?
Yeah. I remember this when he's talking about when he would get somebody, right?
Yeah, yeah,
If he wanted to go on something like that. Yeah, but hey bro, this ain't just in a correctional facility environment for him. This dude was gay in the world, man. You hear me?
yeah. He was. Or
Yeah,
he
this
already had those
particular dude.
tendencies.
Huh?
Or he already had those tendencies before he went to prison.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and the way he talks about it, how other people giving him advice and pointers and this and that. Yeah, see, that's he's still got some bitterness and anger behind whatever, something happened to him too. Like I say, dude, 75-80% of people like this has some type of essay in their life, man.
Yeah, he says
It
it in the
doesn't
doc.
have to, huh?
On one of these parts of the documentary, he says it happened to him when he was young, but he kind of had empathy and sympathy for the person that did it. So it was most likely like a uncle or close relative. So it wasn't a stranger.
Okay. Okay, see, that's what I'm talking about, dude. That's if and a lot of people won't even be honest about it, dude. They'll lie, and they're just, oh no, it was consensual or whatever. But no, man, they're acting out what happened to them, or they want somebody else to feel that pain too.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
and the same part. The only reason I haven't showed that documentary, man, because and a little bit it shows his daughter, and I don't want to be popping it up because it's
yeah,
in that same part that he says that it also shows a part of the person that's already passed away, and it shows his incident that he occurred when he was 6 years old. So I don't want to, you know, the
yeah,
guy that passed away, his sister sometimes watches the show, and I don't want to, open up a can of worms and say, oh, how come I didn't know that before, and I'm realizing this through this part. Is it true?
yeah,
It starts looking at that family member some type of way.
yeah. I hear you.
So that's the only reason I haven't played that part. But I mean, but can you, if I take it away, can y'all still hear it? Like
Yeah,
when I
I heard it because he wasn't. It was froze, but I could still hear the audio. That's why I didn't
oh,
know if it was him talking or somebody else.
okay, so maybe we can right now. I'll find that part and we'll put it on so that way you can hear it.
Okay.
Just watch his mannerisms.
Hey, young blood.
No, I think his internet because he said his internet.
Okay. Hey, well, check this out, bro. Go ahead and do that. But listen, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Okay. And another part too, bro, that I've always wondered about, and I hadn't really spoke on it too much, but because you rarely see it, but it does happen when the victim, you know, uh, fights back, but not right then, not at the initial, contact, later, you know, and from behind and does something, but it's rare, bro, you
Yeah,
know, rarely. And it's like, I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm not sure, but I, I would think you'd see that more, where they start fighting back. But I guess, it's like if nobody fights back, it's just going to keep going. I'm not sure, but I've always wondered why there weren't more, people lying in a puddle after something like that.
yeah. Because also the guy that passed away, Mendenhall, his dad also says that he asked him he asked David, is this true? What you're telling me, and he told him yes, it's true. But after he told him that was true, uh, David never told his father anything else, told him to stop it. So it trips me
Yeah,
out. It's almost tripped out, man, that the father would say that, would be like, if your son already came and told you this, but he's not complaining about it no more, but you still know that it's going on. It's like, what kind of a father? I mean, that's why I don't want to play that part, man, because
yeah,
it's
but
it's
it
it's wild.
it's but it's complicated because look, I met Avato in 88, 89. Cool. Hey, well, look, in the county, I met him in the county. Okay. The Vato was cool, carried himself. I mean, I seen him throw down a couple times. I mean, he was cool. And then all of a sudden, this black dude comes in that knew him on Ferguson. And man, he put him on blast, said that the Vato had got turned out. He was with this Vato, you know, and
Yeah.
man, oh boy, caught out, dude. He caught out of the tank, man.
They had no choice to.
See? Yeah, but then after he was gone, that dude goes, yeah, man, they were together in there, man. When that dude got out, he was still riding that dude and all that. See, so I guess some type of affection, and like I said, that Stockholm syndrome that can kick in. You know, you hate this person, but you feel you know you're safe. Nobody's gonna harm you. All you got to do is put up with this. See, and then they start growing affection, but it's hate, dude. They say, oh, they fall in love. No, it's hate, man. But they ain't gonna leave, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's tripped out right here because you hear him talk. He walks you through it play by play, and then I'm just gonna let it play. I mean, because it's better just. Let me let it play.
How the lie say I've been fucking him too, been taking care of him. He's been my boy. So I grease my penis up. I'm saying I lay him down on the bunk, flat on his stomach. Uh,
no, you can't hear it.
plant rubbing.
Can you hear it right there?
You know what I'm saying? Squeezing his ass cheeks, rub my fingers up and down his back. You know what I'm saying?
You can't hear it, bro.
Trying to talk through it, telling him to relax. You know what I'm saying?
How about there?
He still pleading,
Hold on.
begging me. You know, like I said, I didn't. Care to hear any of that. So
Can you hear it right there, bro?
I go to fucking him. You know what I'm saying? Slowly at first, you know what I'm saying, to try to loosen him up. So he's groaning and you know what I'm saying, moaning and telling me how it hurts. So, you know, I bag out a little bit, just tell him to relax, breathe, you know what I'm saying? So I'm fucking him. At this time, my partner, my dog,
Okay, I think we having technical difficulties, man. I think it's the weather. Young blood had to get off. I think Bobby might I think he might have to log. I think he's probably trying to log in and log back out. But it's the weather. I think young blood. I think his internet went out. He just texted me and said his internet just went out. It's storming. It's getting bad. So maybe young blood and Bobby are trying to log. I know for sure young blood can't because he said his internet. Maybe Bobby are having technical difficulties as well. So what y'all think so far, man? I mean, you got young blood and you got Bobby, man. Both very educational person, very educated, different background, different lifestyles. And that's the thing, man, that God puts people on your path to better you. You see, I like to associate myself with people that are a lot smarter and a lot wiser than me. I don't like to associate with people that if I'm like I said it before, man. If I'm the smartest person in the room, I'm in the wrong room. I like to surround myself with people that are brighter and more full of wisdom and knowledge than what I am. A lot of people can't handle that. They're insecure as a man to be like, oh man, I can't I can't have this guy around me. He knows too much. He's wiser. He's knowledgeable. Instead of embracing him and saying, you know what, man, hey, I can learn something from you. I can learn something from everybody. All day long, I've been getting private phone calls. All day long. I don't answer private phone calls. I've been getting calls from out of state numbers. I don't answer out of state numbers. I just block them and ban them. Only certain people. I only answer the phone to certain people I know. I don't pick up random numbers or private numbers. So y'all want to hear the part? I mean, because the only reason I haven't played that part, man, is because to be respectful for the dead. Because they both say something in there. Well, it's mostly Mendenhall that says a lot more than what this guy says. This guy said that that it happened to him when he was young, and he has more empathy and sympathy than anything. Let me go find the part, man. Let me take this off because I don't want to show his daughter, or that's my most concern because I'm not a, even though I consider him technically some kind of ops. Uh, his family and loved ones are irrelevant to me. So even through they play those type of cowardly tactics about doxing my address on other lives. I don't do that over here. But they're not respectful. How you doing, V? They're not respectful and men enough to admit their mistakes. Oh, Youngblood's back. Youngblood's back in the he's back in the comments. He's back in the comments. Okay, all right, let me send the link. Yeah, it is, bro. It is. It is. It's like, man, hit me up as a man. You fucking publicly shamed me and humiliated me in front of YouTube, in front of your audience. You could at least said, hey, you know what, man? You see, to be a better man, you have to admit. You could at least say, hey, you know what, man? What's going on, Larry Bird? How you doing today? To be a better man, you have to admit. You could at least say, hey, you know what, man? What's going on, Larry Bird?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, bro. How you doing?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, bro. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I just want to address that thing with V and Youngblood earlier.
Can you hear me? Oh yeah, there goes Youngblood.
I'm doing good. I just want to address that thing with V and Youngblood earlier. I'm doing good. I just want to address that thing with V and Youngblood earlier. When Youngblood was in the comments earlier, he posted the weather is rough here. They're trying to get me to back off. They're trying to get me to back off. She was probably asking who is trying to get him to back off.
Okay, I'm hearing. Can you hear me?
She was probably asking who is trying to get him to back off.
Yeah, can you hear you? Are you on here, Youngblood?
She was probably asking who is trying to get him to back off.
Youngblood.
Hey,
Youngblood. I'm muted. Let me see. Let me see. Are you on there, Larry?
Can you hear me, Noel?
Yeah, I can hear you, Youngblood.
Is Youngblood there?
Are you on in there?
Yeah.
Okay. It was. Can you hear me, Noel?
I can hear you, Youngblood.
Is Youngblood
Sound
there?
like it was a bug.
Yeah.
It was. Can you hear me, Noel?
Is Youngblood there? Yeah.
It was. Can you hear me, Noel? I hear a lot of feedback.
Let me see. Are you there, Youngblood?
Yeah,
Youngblood.
I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm here.
I muted Larry Bird. I think Larry Bird got his
It
TV.
just sounds.
Can
Oh,
you hear
okay.
me? And
It might be on mine.
yeah, I think it's on your. I think you got two devices on.
I got 2 devices on.
Yeah, you got. I think you got two phones on.
Okay, let me go out and come back in.
Okay. Let me kick you out.
Let me kick you out.
Okay. There you go. Now we can hear a little bit better. I think he had two phones going on.
There you go. Now we can hear a little bit better. I think he had two phones going on.
Yeah, because it's the weather too.
Now we can hear a little bit better. I think he had two phones going on.
Let me get to the part that. How you doing, young blood?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now, young blood.
Sorry about that, man, but this weather has got rough.
Yeah, I closed out the YouTube window. Maybe the YouTube window was causing a lot of static as well, so I closed that window
Can you
out.
hear me? Yeah. Okay, where's Bobby at?
Sorry about that, man, but this weather has got rough.
I think Bobby had to go do something.
Okay.
I think he's trying to. I think because he was having the same problem, with the weather as well.
Okay.
I'm gonna put that part. I'm gonna put the audio to where Mark says what happened to him.
Okay.
I just don't want to, show his.
Hey, Youngblood, can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you, Larry. What's going on, bro? I hear you, Larry. Can you hear me?
Hey, Youngblood, can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you, Larry. Can you hear me?
Earlier, V was trying to ask you about. You posted something in the comments. The weather is rough here. They're trying to get me to back off. Earlier, V was trying to ask you about. You posted something in the comments. The weather is rough here. They're trying to get me to back off.
Oh, yes. That in retrospect, when
She
they were
was wondering who
saying
was trying to get you
something
to
about
back off.
oh, that was in retrospect that the fifth and the monster was trying to get me to back off by putting something about Bobby Buck on, and I was just ignoring the fact that whoever they talking about, they need to address Youngblood because Youngblood is not going anywhere. And I was just ignoring the fact that whoever they talking about, they need to address Youngblood because Youngblood is not going anywhere.
I'm
Turn my YouTube on.
I'm gonna mute.
Thank you for answering the question. Thank you, Noel, for letting me come on here to ask the question. I'm going to jump back into the comments.
All right, thank you.
Okay,
You're welcome.
I turned,
Anytime, bro. You're
I
more
turned the
welcome.
YouTube off. Is it better? Does it sound better now?
Thank you, Noel, for letting me come on here to ask the question.
I don't know. Is it mine or not?
How does it sound? Does it sound better?
Yeah, it sounds better now.
Okay. I think it was but it's okay. We figured it out, man. I mean,
Okay.
let me put that part on real quick.
Because I was trying to have the computer on, the TV going. I couldn't figure it out. The lights start blinking. I'm like, oh, man.
Yeah. Let me see if this is the
I
part
mean,
right here.
it got crazy down here for a minute.
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, the whole windows. I mean, everything was shaking. The wind. I mean, branches
Yeah,
breaking.
man.
It was wild. I had one of my dogs scared. You know, they were scared.
Yeah. I have one in the house, man, and when the weather get bad, she's scarier than I am when the tornadoes come through.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand. But as soon as they see somebody knocking at the door, and they want to chew them up, man. But the weather gets them.
And you know, but through the wind blow, they get scared. I'm like, no, ain't no sense getting scared now.
Yeah.
Shit.
Let me
Yeah,
let me
but
see.
God, so the young blood ain't tripping on you people. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. That but why did you get out? I was saying God soldier.
Not have to talk about it or bring it up and just let it die in his past and
Crazy now.
fresh from day one when he gets out and create a new respectable life.
Because I never had a father, but I always wanted a father. I like turning guys out. As far as being turned out already, especially by family members, I kind of felt.
See,
Did y'all hear that?
yeah. And see, that was so sad, man. I mean, you know, you have to look at both sides. This guy was turned out by a family member. I mean, it's like saying that if dad do it to me or mom do it to me, you know, it's normal. So this is why I create, it's just like a cycle just continue. You know what I mean? It's I guess it teaches the kid that this is a normal aspect of life, and it's not.
It's not. I think
And it's so sad.
God soldier said he didn't hear it. So I'm gonna mute my button. I'm gonna mute my microphone and your phone, and we're gonna let it play.
Create a new respectable life.
Because I never had a father. You know what I'm saying? But I always wanted a father. I like turning guys out. As far as being turned out already, especially by family members, I kind of felt sympathy for them.
I was probably about 6.
Deal with in there. I hope that's something that when he gets out, he can put behind him. Uh, Not have to talk about it or bring it up and just let it die in his past and kind of start fresh from day one when he gets out and create a new respectable life.
Because I never had a father. You know what I'm saying? But I always wanted a father. I like turning guys out. As far as being turned out already, especially by family members, I kind of felt sympathy for them.
I was probably
I mean, and the thing, check this out, young blood. The thing about it that I always told Dante that this dude, he was a victim at one point or another in his life.
Yes, and he only believed it is after you showed the unseen documentary. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And once he saw that, he understood. He said, like, oh man, I'm cutting ties with Lamar now. But hey, I guess it's all on the understanding because I kind of figured that out because most people that are predators, they were prey once before, and it brings on, it's like a bully, people that's a bully, usually they was bullied as a child or whatever. And that's what
Yep.
happens.
It's a revolving door. I mean, they do it just to feel not being bullied, and the bully becomes the person that was a victim. They become the bully because they don't want to be that victim.
Yes. And they They want to silence things on this end, but man, you can't be silenced on something that's truth. When you speak truth, you must continue to put truth out, regardless. Like I said a long time ago, truth shall prevail falsehood, but that doesn't mean falsehood is not going to put up a fight.
Yeah, it is
But
very
keep
important.
putting truth out there, and falsehood shall perish. That's the bottom line.
They sure are putting up a good fight. I mean, they're
Oh yeah, but it'll soon wear out, man. Believe me, because I have been in a lot of fights, man, with falsehood, and falsehood shall perish. I believe in the book, and the book will not lead you wrong. When truth on the scene, falsehood shall perish. And the brothers taught me a long time ago that doesn't mean falsehood is not going to put up a fight, but just keep putting truth out there. Truth shall perish because the people know it. I mean, it is just bottom line. Anyone in their right mind can see that the documentary is facts. It's just showing what happened. This is what happened.
That's all it is. And the truth
Yeah.
is, and like Almighty, it's the truth, because I didn't come on here with any kind of fake narrative and disrespecting anybody. You know, I at the beginning, I did apologize to Mark because a lot of people were giving me they were saying, man, you were attacking him before you would know the evidence. And I'm like, all right, yeah, you're right. Because if it would have been a defense attorney going against or a prosecutor going against the defendant, it would have got dismissed for discrimination or just going uh shooting first and asking questions later, because basically that's what I went at Mark. But at the same time, Mark has to understand that a lot of those text messages that I was receiving from Hips, they were gruesome. He was telling me that he was taking it by force, not only by
Yeah.
so I kind of had to feel some type of way towards Mark because if somebody's telling you already had a suspicion that this guy was raping folks, and then this
Yeah.
guy is telling you, yeah, man, he was doing it to me and every other white boy. So I'm like, oh,
Hmm.
are you going to tell your story? Yeah, I'll tell my story. And he told his story. And
Yeah. And yeah, and like Mark is the topic is about Mark, but he's been used, and and content is being created more and more about him. Like I say, I'm not going to call the guy name. I'm gonna always say the fifth. The fifth is using him as content to keep creating stories after on and reaching out to this person, that person, trying to cause some type of friction or chaos, but it doesn't work. The people know the truth, and whoever he's reaching to, they already have cut that off. That arm has been cut off, and I'm not talking about Lamar's arm. I'm talking about the arm of fifth. But anyway, Mark is the one that is actually being used, but he just doesn't see it at this point, and hopefully he will, because they're
yeah,
using him. This guy here is way up in Jersey somewhere, and using him as content, and he knows good and well that he know exactly that the documentary is true, and he just don't want to admit it because he's getting money for it, you know. And that's his sole force, like Dante did. Dante was using Mark because he knew as long as he used Mark on that avenue, he was going to get paid. And he didn't give a damn about the man's feelings or how he felt about this or what he went through or how he going to make reparations or make amends or nothing. He didn't give a damn. And he actually used the guy.
nope. And the thing is that they're continued both being used because Dante sent me all these apologies through the text messages, and now I guess he's going over there and saying that those text messages are fake. But see, that was his
Hmm.
number. I don't know if that was a text out number and it got
Yes.
deleted, and now he's acting like, oh, I never sent those messages. Because if you
Yeah.
read those messages, you're basically apologizing to me, and you're basically saying you're wrong, but you can't admit publicly that you were wrong.
Exactly. Let me
So
answer God Soldier here. God Soldier said, Young blood, what you think of them saying you this BB guy and saying they about to show your address. They said it last night. I told them don't do it. God Soldier, don't tell them not to do it. Tell them to go ahead and do it. Because by doing it, that'll create more content for them. Tell them go ahead and put out that address and show the houses or whatnot, please go out and do it. I mean, that'll be the best thing that they can do if it's going to get them some type of clarity or some type of validity. Because young blood don't give a damn about it. I hate to speak like that, but young blood don't give a shit about it. Excuse me, no well in YouTube, but put it out there, Fifth and Mark's right on. Put it out there.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna show his face real quick, man, while he's talking. Let me see. I mean,
Okay.
And create a new respectable life,
hold on.
Not have.
Was that Mendenhall's father or Mark's father?
No, this is Mendenhall's father.
Okay, yeah. And you can see, man, the betrayal that went on, man, between him, and it's sad, man.
It is.
It really is.
Yeah, he did. See, J Dog knows, man. He sent those text messages.
See, JL say Youngblood. Say Junepil said Youngblood got nice windows. Yes. Youngblood has some nice windows, and they have peepholes in them as well. And whatever you want. Yeah, Youngblood has some nice windows, and please visit. Yeah, I have some storm windows. It's storming now, and believe me that if you come to Youngblood house, you will be well invited, and you can come in. I will actually offer you to sit in at my table, and it will be extravagant. So please visit Youngblood. Thank you.
Yeah, they're like, it's like
He said, Phil said Youngblood went too nice for him to be a blood. Well, well, just visit Youngblood. But Youngblood is universal. Youngblood can be a Youngblood. See, back in the '60s, that's what people call people. They call "What's up, blood?" And that's what we did back in the '60s. So now, if you reply to young blood as blood in that sense, then you have to go back and read your history, because that's what we called all black brothers back in the day. What up, blood? That's what we did. So check your history, Fifth Avenue, and you'll see.
yes.
But now, like I said, you come visit, because I cook collard greens, I cook black eyed peas and ham hocks and stuff like that, and you are very welcome. I would really invite you to my house. It's on Google, so come on down and see me, please. Everyone is welcome. No, well, I'm seriously welcome.
Yeah, man. It's like, watch his expression.
Talk about it. Bring it up,
I see. Okay.
and kind of start fresh from day one when he gets out, and
Yeah.
life.
Because I never had a father. You know what I'm saying? I always wanted a father.
I wish I were your father.
As far as being turned out already, especially by family members, I kind of
Damn.
I was probably about 6.
I mean,
Damn.
the rest is
That's
Mendenhall,
sad.
and both of them are victims at a very young age.
And yes, and it is, man. And that was so sad about it. And I hate it happened, but it did. And that's why I say that there's an old African proverb that says it takes a whole village to raise a kid. And it does. And if we were to go back into the old time days, it did. It took a whole village, because just think about your neighborhood, Noel. When you probably was a kid at the age you are now, if you done something wrong, your neighbor was probably going to whip your ass and send you home, and your parents was going to whip your ass too for
Oh
doing
yeah.
what you did wrong.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So you wasn't going to go out there and disrespect the elders, because you knew what was coming to you.
Yep. They were gonna come to the knocking at the door.
Yeah. And that's what we're missing now, you know.
Oh,
But
I think
V. Morales said that Youngblood, they might be jealous of your house. Well, Youngblood doesn't have a extravagant house. I wish I did. I mean, I work for it, but I wish I did have, you know, a house I can put on here and go on YouTube and say that this is I live in Beverly Hills, which I don't, but I wish I did. But
yeah.
like I said, you all are welcome to come visit Youngblood because the doors is open. I have great hospitality, and you're welcome to come see me at any given time. You don't have to call, and I have something now. When you do come, make sure you come and let me know because I have something that probably get at your ass before you even enter the property, if you know what I mean. And it's not no steel, it's not no bullet. Don't say I'm threatening you, but they will get at your ass,
Oh
and
yeah.
they don't play.
It's-
I got about 19 of them on site.
let me see which part is.
Play that one nowhere when he was saying that I guess he said about Tendon.
Oh,
The
Tindor.
first time he ever
I
first
think it's
time he ever got him a little piece.
Real love from whoever. First time fuck somebody ass. It's called
Wow.
Tendon and Limestone. I knew he was a boy, but what caught my interest because he lifted weights, you know. And at that time, I was often working out real heavy. He promised me, he said, "Man, I ain't gonna bring it to you. If you don't want to fuck another man, I ain't gonna pressure you to." So one night we was in the sub. We had a just had a t-shirt and some boxer shorts on. I didn't try to avoid the situation. I brought it to him. I cracked him for his ass. After that, I went and took a shower, cleaned myself up and everything. And I felt guilty. I felt bad. I felt like I had just committed the ultimate sin. You know, I got back from him for a while because I had started having feelings that I didn't think was right. I started caring about this motherfucker. I mean, laying up in my bed thinking about him. I might be on the weight pile thinking about him. You know what I'm saying? I might see him talking to another dude, and I
Wow.
angry on the inside. It's like jealousy, what it was.
And see,
I would say love. You know what I'm saying? But it just something like not trying.
what's going on, young
and
blood.
see, and see, that's what get people killed because, man, years ago they said that this type of dookie love would get you killed.
Yep.
I mean, that type of love, and they won't even go out that far with a female. These guys, if they was to get a wife, they wouldn't fight that hard for their own wives or their own daughters or nothing. Their own family. This is what you call a reprobate mind. When your mind have took on a whole new structure, it have been wired differently, and no one can understand that mind but the Satan. And
Yeah.
like I said, he said, "You would call me a devil," and that's what it is, man. That's a devilish mind. And if that was me, I would actually go back and say, you know what? Then when I was in my 20s, I had a devilish mind, but now I don't have that devilish mind. Nothing is wrong with saying that. Hey, man, I ask for forgiveness. I'm wrong for what I done by destroying other people's lives. Nothing is wrong with that.
Nope.
But until then, until you can make amends and say that, this was going to continue to ride your soul. When no one is around, this ride your soul. And he can't deny it.
Nope. It can't. I mean,
Mm-mm.
it's horrible. I mean, that's the next best thing. You know, when you want to become a better man, you gotta admit to your wrongs and apologize to the people you wrongdoing and and move forward. You know, learn from your mistakes. You know,
Yes.
that's it. I mean,
Yes. Learn from your mistakes, you know. I mean, because that's what it is, you know. Um, I can remember the case that I had, man, and it happened way back in the 90s. And I'm not going to say what year, but I had 3 counts of capital murder, and I was convicted of 1 count of felony murder. And man, my family actually, like, I was like ousted out because this was unheard of, you know. This didn't go on in my family, you know. And the only one that stood by me was my mother. And the only reason I guess she stood by me because I was her son. And she had some grievance about that as well. But it took me years to admit my wrong in what I done. And the thing that happened with my situation, I wasn't actually the trigger man. And I didn't find out that the one who was actually the trigger man done the crime. I didn't know this until like 5 years actually when I was incarcerated that this particular one had pleaded the Fifth Amendment. And I didn't know this until I filed what they call a Rule 32. And people that know about the law, a Rule 32 is when you go and you try to get your case heard upon the Alabama Supreme Court. And at that time, man, you know, I thought was keeping it real is don't say nothing. And he was like a brother to me. I mean, you know, and he's still like a brother to me. But for someone as close that I had to do such heinous crime and then throw me up under the bus was unheard of.
yeah,
So I seen a lot of people going in doing this. But when I actually got out and I started watching like 48 hours, it is a something like a TV show that comes on and it tells and you see this actually happens, man. But you can't believe this until it actually happened to you. And it was unheard of because if I had known what was going on and the time that I spent, well, hell yeah, I would have said, hey, man, you know, no, I'm not the trigger man. This is the damn trigger man. But by me
yeah. You would.
thinking as a young age, oh man, keeping it real, this is what's happening, and it cost me, man, years of my damn life, years of my life. But like I say, that journey that I took is why I'm doing the things that I do now.
Yeah,
So
made you a
I'm going
better
to
person.
always voice my opinion against wrong. Oh yeah, it made me a better person because I wouldn't be where I am today. You know, I would not be where I am today. So, you know, when we look at things that being bad in our book, it might looks bad, but you know, in order for that to happen, it makes you a better person, and it makes you a person that can actually see what actually goes on in life. And this is some real talk. This is what happens, man.
It does. It does.
It happens, you know. And I don't speak bad about, the gangs or they're never like that, but man, that is a straight way for destruction, you know. And you know, for guys to be in their 50s,
Still gang banging. I think we lost young blood again. I think we lost young blood again. We're gonna play that part real quick.
Because I never had a father. You know what I'm saying? But I always wanted a father. I like turning.
Whatever.
Yeah,
They need to flip the pages back and look at the chapters.
I kind of felt sympathy for him.
I was probably about 6.
Are you there, young blood?
Yeah, I'm here, man. My internet goes in and out. This weather is terrible, but it's okay.
What's going on, JoJo? Oh, okay. I think they wanted to hear this other part again. Where let me put it back on.
What part? Oh, okay.
They want to hear the part where Mark says, NBA lady." She wants to, she wants to hear it again.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna I'm mute this one.
And the homosexual activity and such as that he's had to deal with in there. I hope that's something that when he gets out, he can put behind him. Uh, not have to talk about it or bring it up and just let it die in his past and kind of start fresh from day one when he gets out and create a new respectable life.
'Cause, I never had a father. You know what I'm saying? But I always wanted a father. I like turning guys out. As far as being turned out already, especially by family members, I kind of felt sympathy for him.
I was probably about 6.
You know, when I first met Charles Hips, he told me that Mark had an uncle that was locked up with them. I can't remember what his name was. I think I even showed them. I think his name was Ronnie Moore. I showed Hips a picture of this Ronnie Moore, and he goes, "Yeah, that's his uncle, but I'm not going to speak on him because he's passed away." So I don't know if his uncle was part of that. I mean, because it wasn't nobody on his dad's side. It must have been an uncle on his mom's side because he lived most of his time with his grandmother and mom. So maybe the uncle, the brother, the son of the grandma, some male figure that lived with Mark at one time. So y'all heard it right there. So it's kind of I always said it from the beginning that the dude must have been a victim at one point or another. But by him denying it, his actions, you know, it still portrays him like a monster. You know, Fleece, he's owned up to it. He's owned up to it. That's the thing that there's a lot of, you know, Dante wants to hold everybody accountable, but he can't hold this guy accountable or even himself for promoting this type of stuff. I mean, I'm gonna put it back on it for y'all can hear it again.
Being pimped out and the homosexual activity and such as that he's had to deal with in there. I hope that's something that when he gets out, he can put behind him. Uh, not have to talk about it or bring it up and just let it die in his past and kind of start fresh from day one when he gets out and create a new respectable life.
Because, I never had a father, you know what I'm saying? But I always wanted a father. I like turning guys out. As far as being turned out already, especially by family members, I kind of.
You see, but the way he says it, that he likes turning boys out, is that he got turned out as a boy. He got turned out as a boy by a family member in his life. So that's why, like him, as far as him being turned out, he said he was already turned out from the beginning. So I guess they're using this word turned out, I guess, like a homosexuality, like hey, you were involved in that type of a situation, but they're referring it to as turned out in prison. But the way Mark says that, he was already turned out before he went to prison. I mean, it's sad, because Mark was a kid at one time. He was a kid, and if that happened to him as a kid, that's messed up, But that still doesn't give you a reason to go over there and continue doing the predatory behavior. You could have been but see, it makes it. If I play that's why he becomes a protector. When Jonathan Schwartz said that, he became a more of a father, mother instincts, a protector. That's what it was. At first, it did start out protecting the weaklings, and then it evolved to, to what it was: extortion, unconsensual, by force, and this is all. I mean, I'm gonna play one more little clip of his workout, and then we're gonna call it a night, and we continue the party tomorrow.
You know what I'm saying? Even women in my family, you know what I'm saying?
Oh man.
So I don't really have no problem with accepting real love from whoever. The first time I fucked some ass was in Ten Dome at Limestone. I knew he was a boy, but what caught my interest because he lifted weights, you know. And at that time, I was often working out real heavy. He promised me, he said, man, I ain't gonna bring it to you. If you don't wanna fuck with another man, I ain't gonna pressure you to. So one night we was in the cell. We had he just had a t-shirt and some boxer shorts on. I didn't try to avoid the situation. I brought it to him. I cracked him for his ass. After that, I went and took a shower, cleaned myself up and everything. And I felt guilty. I felt bad. I felt like I had just committed the ultimate sin. You know, I got back from him for a while because I had started having feelings that I didn't think were right. I started caring about this motherfucker. I mean, laying up in my bed thinking about him. I might be on the weight pile thinking about him. You know what I'm saying? I might see him talking to another dude and I become angry on the inside. It was like jealousy or I don't know what it was. I don't want to say love, you know what I'm saying? But it just something I couldn't explain. And I transfer. I go.
Call me. I could protect him like.
Deal with in there. I hope that's something that when he gets out, he can put behind him. Uh, not have to talk about it or bring it up and just, let it die in his past and, kind of start fresh from day one when he gets out and create a new respectable life.
Because, I never had a father, you know what I'm saying? But I always wanted a father. I like turning guys out. As far as being turned out already, especially by family members, I kind of felt sympathy for them.
I was probably about 6.
You see, when he talks about sympathy for them being turned out, he got turned out by a male relative. It's sad, but it still doesn't give him a right to go out there and continue be doing that. All right, y'all. Man, we're gonna do it tomorrow. It's been an hour and a half. Y'all have a good one. Stay blessed. Good night, y'all.